out of everything that you guys have done, like what's your favorite like behind the scenes story? It doesn't have to be supernatural, just kind of like anything.
So your question is, out of everything we've ever done, what's our favorite sort of behind the scenes vibe?
Yeah, like vibe or story or just something funny that, you know, just something that you like, that sticks in your mind, that happened in behind the scenes.
Well, honestly, so my favorite thing I've ever done, I did this TV show called Legit, where I played a guy with advanced stage muscular dystrophy, and I was in a wheelchair and I could only move 2 of my fingers and my neck. And so every time anything happened on the set, I would have to be like dressed or fed or whatever. So the lead of the show is a comedian named Jim Jeffries, who's famous for saying a brutal word that starts with a C, but he's famous for saying that, right? Anyway, so like we got into these patterns of like when I would have to be dressed or undressed in a scene. Like during the reset, I'd just sit there talking, and he would realize that he'd be putting my clothes back on me. And I was like, this is kind of the best job I've ever had. I don't have to do anything on the show except sort of sit there. But it had a lot of heart. The funniest thing that happened though was he had to bathe me once, and he pulled me up out of the tub. And the way the camera was positioned, there was no way you couldn't see. Do you know what happens to testicles when you lift somebody up? Yeah. I wasn't aware of this. I was not made aware of this. I have a nudity rider that was completely violated. I wasn't aware of it until the show aired, and FX didn't blur them out. So, yes, you see my testicles.
They can show balls on FX?
Yeah. You can say the F word after 9 now, it used to be 10, and you can show
you
balls.
You can show balls for breakfast?
Yeah, balls for breakfast. Now you can see my balls.
You didn't wear like the, you know, usually when you do like a nude scene, they put an array of thongs and underwear in the trailer.
This was, I mean, there was only 3 actors on this show, and 2 of them were writers, the other one was me, and we rehearsed the whole day's work like a play. I mean, the licensing fee, like to make that show cost $500,000 an episode, because it cost nothing. But it was awesome and creative, and it's the least I've ever gotten paid, and I would still be doing it today if I could. I loved it. But we didn't think about that kind of stuff, and nobody brought it to my attention. And you can see my balls on TV. So it's not my favorite thing that's ever happened, but I thought it was funny in retrospect.
What show?
I did a film where I allowed them, they could show my butt if they wanted to. I figured, you know, I'm not getting any younger. Go ahead, show my butt.
Show it now.
And
before the avalanche comes.
Yeah, it's still perky, I think. Bounce a quarter off of it. So they had the ability to show my naked butt, which I was kind of excited about. I had a shower scene with this actress Claire Forlani, and they didn't show my butt, which made me go, what the hell? You had your shot, and they didn't.
What cheek?
I don't know.
But nudity writers are like this. They can show the top left portrait of the artist's buttocks no more than 2 inches from the side. They're really specific.
I was whole crack, baby.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for
No balls, though.
What a bummer.
No. It's too bad.
So mine, on the Atlantic Ocean in a show called Seawolf, you know, producers always say, you got any problems? Can you ride a horse? Yeah. Can you go on the sea, not be sick? Yeah. You know, you always say this stuff. And I said, yeah, to going on the sea and never being seasick, never having a problem with it. And it was great for the first week or so of filming. And then we had the doldrums where it was still and foggy, you couldn't see the horizon. And I played the ship's cook. And I was beginning to feel a little queasy because you had no sense of really what was going on. That inner ear thing was happening. I was feeling a little weird. And they said, okay, well, it's fine. We're going to do today's scene up on the deck. You should be fine. We'll get some fresh air. You're going to be cutting up a fresh seal. And what was actually a fresh seal that had been found and appropriately arranged in front of me. And as they started the camera rolling, I started to chop shot, looked up, ran over to the deck, and it was actually captured on film. But it's just a little part of me running across in the background. And I went green, and the real humility of that was that they had to send out a special boat to pick me up and take me to shore. So I was there, you know, feeling very shamed. It was really bad.
They made you cut up a seal?
What's that?
Did you say you cut up a seal?
I didn't. Set Deck did it. They're actually preserved. There's very strict rules about
how you cut a seal.
seals. We had to have a license from the Ministry of Fisheries that it was actually a seal that had been caught up in a net and had died naturally, and
Right.
props got hold of the seal and then they used it for the film. Yeah, but it's
Brutal.
pretty bad. There you go.
Heat is gonna be on your ass, boy.
Whose question was that?
What number?